Yo, what is good with y'all? It's your boy KAG, and today we're going to be talking about the Nintendo NX and some information as regarding whether or not AMD will actually be the ones behind the Nintendo NX. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and let's hop into this video. So as y'all all know, AMD had their rollout of supposedly going to be having 3 SoCs that are supposed to be into the next year and upcoming year, right? Well, they came out and literally stated that the Xbox Scorpio was going to be one of those SoCs, right? Then, on top of that, they went on to say that they have a second SoC win, which is supposed to be the actual PlayStation Neo. I'm assuming everybody is assuming. Because, AMD has been behind the PlayStation 4, so why not be behind the PlayStation Neo? And then there was a third one that was supposedly ARM based, right? Now, in regarding the ARM based one, it actually looks like it is actually going to be Apple. So in a recent newsletter dated August 10th, 2016, Apple said the planned first pro laptop overhaul in 4 years, right? So Apple's supposed to be coming out with a new MacBook, as we can see here, a new line of MacBooks, should I say. It's supposed to be getting an overhaul because they haven't really done anything new with it in the past couple years outside of like the Retina display. But when we actually go here and we look at this right here, we see an option for a version featuring a higher performance graphics chip from AMD will be available. Another person familiar with the matter said it's unclear which provider Apple will use for the main processor, but Intel has supplied this in the past years. Apple is using one of AMD's Polaris graphics chips because the design offers the power efficiency and thinness necessary to fit inside the slimmer Apple notebook, the person said. The new graphics card is more than 20% thinner than its predecessor. AMD said earlier this year. AMD declined to comment, referring inquiries regarding Apple. Now, as we all know, in the actual conference, we did see where they said that they weren't going to actually say anything in regarding who was going to be running the actual third SoC. And they said, well, we were just going to go ahead and let them announce the product, and then once they announce the product, and then y'all will find out who is actually running this actual SoC that's inside of the device. But it actually looks like it's gonna be Apple, y'all. It's not gonna be Nintendo NX. So
now, what will be new about this MacBook Pro?
Actually, I can go ahead and let this video roll for y'all.
It's going to be the most significant MacBook Pro overhaul since they released the first Retina model, the higher resolution model, back in 2012. So this one's going to be a little bit thinner, a bit narrower, smaller overall, so easier carry. It's going to have new USB-C ports, which allows you to use a single port to do charging, connect to screens, transfer data to phones. It's going to have new features like an OLED key display. So instead of the standard function keys with like volume, audio controls and such, you'll be able to have a digital screen, so the different function keys will change based on what you're doing. So if you're in iTunes, for example, you'll see music controls. But if you're working on a Word document, you might see cut, copy, and paste.
Wow.
So it's really going to adapt to the user.
That sounds like fun. Why is it particularly important now? It does feel like a while since we've had a MacBook refresh.
Right, so back in 2010 when Steve Jobs introduced the iPad, he called it the future of the computer, the future of laptops, the laptop replacement. After a couple years, sales really, shot up, but they peaked at the end of 2013 into 2014. And now sales have been slowing. The last 2 quarters, Apple sales numbers overall have also slid. So this MacBook Pro update comes at a time where Apple needs to rely on a product that has been surprisingly resilient. The Mac, even with the iPad, has still been selling between the high 3s and low 5s in terms of millions a quarter. So this product has been resilient, and now Apple's giving it a lot of attention with this new upgrade.